needs to be in attendance. Is there anyone signed in remote, Mike?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay, thank you. Welcome back, Helena. Glad you're with us this time. Yeah, I think he did it last time, so it'd be your turn this time. Mr. Humes will not be joining us tonight, and we'll just keep flipping it back and forth. I think that's the fairest thing to do. Yeah, but I gotta have a conversation with Bob. I mean, he for years and years and years, he was great, but he's just having struggling this year, getting here. And I know with what's coming up on the 40B, that's something that we've got to actually really be tight on, because you're not allowed to miss meetings and those. So it's a tough thing, because I love having Bob. Bob is extremely practical and really smart, but I just love that he's not afraid to get his boots dirty too. All right.
Choose to fill.
Yeah, okay, so we're gonna start off tonight with a special permit for 56 Shore Drive. And we've been through all this with last time. We had actually recommended to you that it be a special permit and not a variance, if I remember correctly, Eric?
Yes.
Correctly.
Yeah.
There was a couple reasons for that. It was less appealable by your neighbors if it was a special permit. It basically gave you a little bit more protection than just a variance, because we can protect special permits a little. We're given a little more leeway on special permits. So it was, just for the sake of the record, you want to just briefly, was this the deck off the back, if I remember, correct? And the project hasn't changed in the last month? No. No change. No neighbors here tonight, so that usually means no news is usually good news.
Notices were sent out.
Notices were sent out. Thank you for doing that. I'm going to give it right to the board members and open it up to see if they have any questions. Dave, you want to start?
Last
David?
time we asked about the location of the leach field, if I remember right, or the septic on the plan. It's not here. It really should be, if you indicate like where the leach field is, to show it doesn't conflict with the deck. So since you're here and it's not on the plan, can you indicate, do you know where it is? Septic system?
Where do you want to, but why do you want to start with around there? I'm sure.
We just want to make sure that you can pump the septic tank out is the big thing. And you don't want to have the,
Sorry, right, no, not the leach field.
Well, you don't want to have pillars on the leach field either, yeah.
Right.
Building permit has to be reviewed by the board.
Right, all that stuff will be part of the building.
yeah. All right.
I would assume it's not on the side of the house where the pond is.
Yeah, it's never on the side of the house where the pond is down there.
Is here, and the septic is
Okay,
here.
good.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you.
The other question is the measurement from the corner of the deck to the bottom line. There's no measurement, I think, shouldn't there be?
We asked for that. We needed to have what the measurements were
Oh,
from
the
the,
corner of the deck?
right from the corner of
Yeah.
the deck to the lot lines. And that's not in, while I'm looking at it on
Okay.
the maps, like it's about 12 feet.
You know what this measurement is?
And use your ruler.
This is like 24 feet, she says.
Through the chair, I mean, yes, it's helpful to have those dimensions. Because it's now a special permit, not a variance, the benefit is that you're not voting on a specific measurement that you're requesting a variance from, right?
It's a little
I mean, while I agree that is best practice to have those measurements.
I didn't understand that little detail, but okay.
You also have an email in there from conservation. We had asked her to weigh in if she had any.
And there was no concern. That's the one I really.
She said no
Observation.
concerns. And again, it'll go through the permitting process and then we'll review.
Excellent. That's good. Mary's very sharp too. He's very sharp. He's good. Excellent. I'm very glad you brought that up.
No, as long as there's no neighbour objections, I have no objection to
That's
the
the
report.
use.
No questions, no questions.
Yeah, I think we answered all that.
Something. All right, Dave, since you're in the voting
All right.
position, how about a motion?
But-
It's on the agenda, it's on the agenda.
Okay.
Take the agenda, you can take the agenda and just add, I make a motion to.
Oh,
You should have it in Mr. Meeting.
I move to approve the special permit as requested for 56 Shore Drive for the construction of a deck, overriding the setback.
I'll leave the bit about setbacks out.
Okay,
Just say,
okay.
As proposed in the map or drawing.
Yeah, I propose special permit as proposed in the map presented to us today for 56 Shore Drive deck.
There you go, see.
Second,
Okay, all in favor?
I'll get it eventually.
Bob Butler,
Aye, David.
Bob Butler, aye.
Bill Andrews, aye.
Eric Russell, aye.
Michael, get one.
Thank you, you're all set. Sorry to make that.
There's no public presence of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and before you go, just
Yeah.
for a matter of procedure, so we keep this in mind in the future. There was a variance still on file. Now, you just approved a special permit, so constructive approval for a variance is immaterial, right? That's not a big deal, but like,
As long as.
as a matter of process, you should still suggest a request to at least withdraw without prejudice
The
the
variance.
variance.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you can help us, can you withdraw your request for the variance? Just say, please withdraw the variance.
Yes.
I'll take it. You're all set. Now, I'm assuming this goes the same 20-day appeal period?
Yes.
Okay, so just so you know, there is a 20-day appeal period for your neighbors or anyone who's in a butter could appeal it within 20 days from when it gets filed with the town clerk. So Helena will type up the paperwork.
That we can come pick it up and register it at the Worcester County.
Yeah. That's very important that you,
And I will put that date in the email when I send it to you, probably next week.
but it's from when it gets submitted to the town clerk. So that could be like 25 days from now. But it's very important that you bring it to the registry of deeds. And when you do that, bring a checkbook. They actually charge you to record that in there. It's not a big fee.
It's like
It's $100.
$100.
80 for like the first page.
Yeah,
So
it's just, we want it recorded forever. So it's forever allowed on your property. And you do that at the registry of deeds.
Yeah, the building commissioner is very good about reminding people of that because he will not issue a building permit if he doesn't have
we've
that.
got a copy of it
Mhm.
in the permit,
Really? That's new.
because they have a permit in there already. That's all of it.
Okay, you're all set. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Yeah, no problem. Sorry, it had a little delay there, but we've done the right thing. There we go. Anyways, all right.
You can go.
You can go. Yep. Yeah, this next one will be,
Thank you.
all right, so the next one is the administrative appeal. And Mike, you can probably explain, I'll try my best. My understanding is that these gentlemen went to the planning board. They got denied on something, and we are actually the appeal body for that.
So for clarification, they were not denied anything.
Oh, what would you call it?
They received an approval for a minor modification to the site plan that was on file, which is an administrative review process. The planning board took that opportunity to put conditions onto that approval.
Oh, and that's what they're appealing.
Yeah, and much of the discussion letters that but Ed's fine. That Ed provided, described, basically my view was appealing, basically the notion of conditions for this type of application to the building.
Why don't you talk about what John found and what they found about the.
Yeah, I'll briefly
frontage?
discuss that and then I'll throw it to the appellant to discuss the case, so, and as was detailed in the building commissioner's letter, if you had time to read it, was when this was initially sent to the planning board it had an address of 87A Adams Street. And the planning board chair said, We don't have an Adams Street.
In
Where's
Westboro.
this? And you know, the thread tore, and then
Yeah.
things start. Oh, it doesn't have any frontage within the town of Upton. How did it receive all these approvals in the past? This never came up. There was never noted. Anyway. Something that is needed, let's take care of it now. Let's approve it so that we, the planning board can, you know, be, I guess I'll use the term substantially in conformance with those, the Spectrum Act and FCC regulations and all that, so that it can grant the permit. But let's note these things because they are issues in hopes that they can be addressed and fixed, essentially. So after that, and then after receiving all the correspondence from Ed, it was actually noted that they do have enough frontage because on the initial plan that was submitted was only showing like a 50-foot narrow strip associated with 87A. Come to find out, the Casa Builders, who is the owner of that property, actually owns a whole lot more property on Adams Street in Westboro, which, you know, is over and above 300 linear feet of frontage, which is over and above Upton's requirement for frontage. And the practice has been through the building departments to grant or say that a lot has adequate frontage in it if a lot has its frontage in another town, so long as that it meets both towns' standards.
Right. This is the one that's divided by Mass Pike, is it?
Yes, correct.
So the land was there as a big chunk.
Yeah.
Mass Pike shot through the middle of it.
Yeah.
And it made everything really complicated.
So that practice, whether or not it is a valid one, you know, it is what has been determined and what has been relied upon. But also there was other information provided relative to Mass General Law 40A and the, I'll use the word grandfathering in of structures that are in existence for a certain amount of time and uses that are in existence for a certain amount of time.
They've done a great job of analyzing the legal basis and the case law for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's the long and short of it. I mean, because the frontage was the issue, because it's an access issue, because that has been resolved, in my view, the planning board's conditions really were all based on that. So I see no reason to keep any of the other conditions, which is why I recommended that to the, I'll throw it to the appellant so I don't completely cut their ability to. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was an access issue too that ended up being, they did have.
Well, I was able to find through my research that there's an easement, a utility easement on that site that guarantees 87 Adams A.
And that was another issue that,
Yeah,
that
the easement, yes.
Tom Davids.
So I'm a bit confused about various defenses of this site. So it's the combined frontage of 3 lots that together meet the requirement.
Yeah, essentially.
I think you're right.
So my question would be, what happens if one of those lots gets sold to somebody else? Do we suddenly have non-conformance, or can you have a covenant that 3 lots will be forever owned by the same person? I'm looking ahead to the future of those lots and how it might complicate their legal status.
Yeah, so there's no, first of all, my name is Ed Parry. I'm an attorney from
I'm David Brooks, yeah.
Center in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm here for American Tower. That's why this is a little bit more complicated, but yeah, we end up at the right place, then I think, you know, the issues all disappear.
I'm happy with the.
There's no merge, for zoning purposes, the lots are merged, but there's no physical illegal merger that's taking place, nor would there be a subdivision. You know, I'm not sure, they probably can't do an A&R, but I mean, that's stuff like you're talking about. The bottom line is, we feel, first of all, we've had variance since 1995, granted by this board to allow for the tower structure in the use. We think that's satisfactory. I know that there's a disagreement over that. I understand that, I can see why, but we have a variance for the tower in the use. Under the Federal Spectrum Act, which, you know, I'm just going to run through my points in my memo.
Yep.
There is a if you have a site that was approved and it's existing, you can do certain modifications. You can't, add 300 feet to the tower, but you can add 20 feet to it. You can put more stuff on it. It's so you can do co-location, which we're talking about. And the federal government took away the towns and states' rights to say no to doing that, as long as it meets 6 parameters, which I go through. So that's number 2. Number 3, we do have frontage, but what happens in the future, I don't know. And from my perspective, it doesn't matter because we think we're protected anyway. And then when you look at section 7 of chapter 40A, if you've got a use that's been permitted and the permits have been effective and you begin using the property, the town has a 6-year statute of limitations to take an action to say, hey, that there was something wrong back when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In addition, there's a 10-year statute of limitations, and I don't use these to say we're adversarial,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
but for that 10-year period, the tower's been there, you can't take it down. So the idea is we can, and that's why I use alternative language. We reserve all of our rights to argue any of these points, but we get to the end result, we're fine. We didn't challenge all of the, I've been doing this for almost 30 years. We didn't challenge all of the conditions because I felt 2 were valid. 1 required a plan to be submitted to the planning board with signature lines, which they did. And second was to make sure there was access for public safety, which again is something we're all concerned with. So we only challenged the 2 that deal with frontage. And then there were some about provisions in the current bylaw, whether they're applicable to us. We think that's best left statutorily with the building commissioner. We have, I can't say I've conversed with the building official, but we have shared correspondence. He issued a letter to
Yeah, we've got the,
us. You've got that.
it's a helpful letter.
Well, I understand that what happens if you divide it later isn't before us. I just wonder if there's anything extra you might do to protect your clients and their successors in case that happens. And I have no idea what that might be.
I mean, our position is we don't have, it's there. What our position would be, even if we only had the 60 feet, we're still good. But it worked out that we have full frontage, so let's get into the end zone. Let's not worry about whether we're running passing or
The other thing is,
defensive.
it's like when you fight the train, you can't ever win against the Surface Transportation Board. The government took away town's rights to.
In certain.
In a lot of circumstances, you can sit there very comfortably.
Remember, I wrote the small wireless facility bylaw, so I know all this.
I don't know, to me, I think it's good that we clean up an issue. It's good that we now have it documented that you have frontage. It's good that it's documented that you have access. Anytime you have stuff between 2 towns, it makes it complicated, but I think the town has a reasonable accommodation. There's actually a lot of lots in town that are in both towns, particularly Grafton, that are in both towns. There's a lot of them, and it's that the town has a reasonable accommodation to deal with that. So that's a, to me, a good thing. I think we kind of have to follow the building commissioner's recommendation.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't disagreeing with that. I was wondering about if they
they
need extra
subdivided,
protection for future actions, we might take.
Yeah.
And we're just a tenant in certain space, so we don't own a lot. We own power, we own a leased area, we have access to frontage, and that's so we're here kind of in a limited role.
I'm not objecting to your request. This is well argued. I'm just wondering if you needed any more.
So Mike, what is I'm assuming we need a vote, but I've never done a thing.
My one question here is it's purely procedural, and that is what's the basis here? I mean, normally we've got basis to hear an appeal from the zoning enforcement officer, but he's not threatening enforcement of these conditions. So
Yeah, this is an appeal of a planning board decision. So in the planning boards, I'm sorry, I didn't highlight that in my review. The planning board site plan approval bylaw, and I think the regulations as well. No, it's in the bylaw. Cites that the the applicant can appeal a planning board decision on a site plan to the zoning board.
Okay.
And it uses the phrase through the building permit process. So in order to accomplish that, building commissioner took the conditions of the planning board and put those into the building permit so that they were appealable to you here tonight in case there was any question on.
So that's how we can do it.
Yeah.
But we've never had anything like this.
No, I
ever.
think it's the first time this has ever been used.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's an unusual.
yeah.
If I can explain procedurally how that came to be a little bit, other than you have the direct jurisdiction. So we actually got a building permit from the building
Yes.
commissioner 2 days before
Yeah.
the vote of the planning board. So it was a little bit backwards, and I struggled because I was trying to find what's the proper way. I
Yeah.
would typically appeal the building permit.
Yeah,
You know.
But you had one.
Yeah.
But I have an approval, but then I have conditions after the fact saying, I have to honor to this, and because of that provision in the bylaw, I said, well, we can go directly. We can wrap this all together in one appeal, and I think everybody agrees, those three.
Which section of the bylaw is that? Just curious, this
either
is an
9.
auditing, since site plan isn't a statutory
Correct.
thing, there's no procedure in statute for this. Just curious.
Or just,
Yeah, there's
just, so
no
you know.
procedure in the statute, yeah.
Motion for this? Because this is way out of my realm. I know what has to be done. I just don't know how.
Not yet.
9.4.
Whatever we say,
What?
it's whatever we say.
Yeah, we do. You know what? I respect, the expertise of these people. This is an unusual one. You've never had anything. I was not even aware prior to this that we had.
Yeah, appeal. In the event of an
Okay.
unfavorable decision, the applicant may appeal the decision through the building permit process via the zoning board of appeals and ultimately to a
Never
court
knew.
of competent jurisdiction.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
learned it. And I don't care how many years you've been doing this.
Great.
So we are here correctly that we're here.
Yep, yeah.
All right, you've, wait a second. Gentlemen, before I turn it, I don't see anyone here in the from the neighborhood. Is there anyone online? No.
There's not.
I want to make sure that every single one of you get a chance. Any concerns? Thank you, David, for yours.
About item 2 or all 3? Sorry, are
For,
you currently asking about this item, the frontage thing, or the other 2 items as well?
it will all be
All
one.
3 of them.
It'll all-
Okay, number 5, you say in your narrative, Mike, that the bonds access clauses and annual reports, we can waive that if the building commissioner agrees, but you don't put that in the recommended.
Which one's number 5?
Yeah,
Oh, the bonds.
the bonds, that's separate stuff.
Yeah, what my recommendation on that is that you side with the appellant and either vacate or remove or whatever language we want to use for that. And the reason is because what Ed was explaining is that the jurisdiction of that is squarely within the building commissioner anyway. And I'm unsure, honestly, at the when that second tower was erected, when that happened in relation to the adoption of, because there's been a lot of changes to this bylaw, when that went into effect. So I'm honestly not sure if it applies. It very well could apply, but any decision of this board or the planning board isn't going to determine whether or not it applies, right?
So they'll do that anyway,
Yeah,
and that'll be final and won't need to come back.
it either applies or it doesn't, I guess.
Let's vote on that. Sorry to really prioritize this. I've been really, because, of my communications back then.
That's fun. This is a fun one where you have federal regulations overlapping with local zoning.
Yeah.
It always goes together well.
Local loses every time. Do you happen to have paper towels or some tissues? Can you grab a couple?
Tissues?
I would say paper towel if you got them. I evidently stepped in something over here and as my shoes melt down, I'm leaving a puddle of something that's not very pleasant.
Just for my own understanding, it just says minor site plan change, and I'm sure that there's a lot of these documents that I've not read. What is the change that you guys are making?
T-Mobile's changing their antennas.
That's what this is all about.
Yeah.
They're changing the,
I think they're changing a cabinet on the ground.
yeah,
Yeah,
we've been talking about the cabinet on the ground a lot, but yes, they've got a couple of more antennas, in.
I think what I'm gonna
It's
do.
like, it's like more.
Thank you.
Actually,
If you did the work, you wouldn't know.
This was all triggered by that.
Yeah.
Very particular.
There you go.
cabinets and, you know, which antennas and,
There you go. Okay.
yeah.
Yes, and we've got these.
Yeah,
So there's a couple of a little antenna added here. Yeah. And, yeah,
yeah, it's not much,
yeah, not much of antennas, not even barely 2 feet.
but it stirred up something.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Just so you know, that I spent 2 years writing this facility by law for this town.
Ah. Spent a couple of years reading them.
We use that for a motion, all right? I move that we grant the appeal and the appellant's request to remove conditions number 2, number 4, and number 5 from the planning board's minor site plan change approval as requested by the appellant.
Okay, also,
A second.
okay, vote of the board, Dave,
Aye.
Bob Upright.
Bill Andrews, aye.
Eric Russell, I.
Michael Gill, bye.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, bud.
And thank you,
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
yeah, and Mike, thank you for your work on getting this whole thing unraveled with the
The
inspector.
question about your flat was I did have questions before us about any changes in electromagnetic impingement within the FCC regulations and also any new frequencies, but as I can address them to you before forwarding to them.
Yeah, American Tower doesn't operate, so we don't have a frequency.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot going on right now with the FCC.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Thank you all very much.
yes, thank you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes. Yep.
You know, I just want to apologize. I gotta clean up.
Happy holidays, right?
Thank you much, Christmas.
Here we go. All right, I think we also have minutes. We have the minutes from the last meeting. For not being here, I think you did a great job. It's been a really exciting thing to watch.
So exciting, I watched it twice. There were parts you couldn't hear and so, but any feedback? Okay.
So this is what was sent from months ago. This is next slide, whatever. 45. I can say it.
Now, my recover password.
We have to do.
I gave him. All right. Did anyone, I know I had a look at I got to look at the minutes. Did anyone
Did you
have?
see that folder? A couple, a couple of things in red that I saw, I thought you should,
Okay. Oh, okay.
just
Thank you.
minor,
Minor stuff, yeah.
Yep. I will make those changes before.
Nothing substantial.
Yep.
That's fine. It's great then. Yeah, there was some weird glitches in the alarm. Yeah, I mean, if I could say it, I'd say even. You even went into what every do we really have to, and Eric, you and Mike, to this question too, do we have to give every detail about who's? It's almost like it seems like you're overachieving. Like I'm trying to, we record these damn things.
So less.
Less, save yourself work.
Sounds good to me. I was afraid I wasn't doing enough
The-
based on the previous minutes I saw from
Yeah,
other people.
it's,
I thought this was just right, you know?
yeah, well, it's just, it's, to me, the part was the neighbor who was kind of.
Yeah.
I'm just like, do we really want, I mean, I don't want to say.
Well, I feel like we need
Meeting.
to capture in a butter. I was trying to do it generically, but if
Yeah.
we did too much, then we can spend.
I'm just trying to save you time, because I know we're recording every one of these now
Yeah.
for posterity. And while we used to do one-page things all the time. And I know we didn't get in trouble. We just got a new administrator who wanted it differently.
There are just a couple of things you have to include, who was present,
Right.
the items that are taken up, then the motions made.
Right.
And then you have to like, I forget the terminology, but generally capture the spirit of the conversation.
Right.
It's not sufficient that somebody
Could follow.
wasn't there. No,
Yeah.
what happened. It doesn't have to be a transcript.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Is there some kind of state standards for what minutes and boards?
Yeah, that's what I was just referencing. It's an open meeting law.
Yeah, yeah. This is gonna sound funny. I have exceptionally small amount of legal training, but try to keep things as little written as possible, because it's just, you can get shot over the smallest detail. Stupid little example. Look at that, the thing from the planning board on grandfathering. They didn't put it under a separate subheading. Wherever they wherever they grabbed it from, they didn't put it under a separate head setting, so it got included in something else. You know, it's that sort of like nitpicky stuff that drives me nuts. I'd rather vaguely say Bob is great. I don't need to say that it's his nose, you know. You know what I mean?
Should
We all know it is. We're all
we
viewers.
include a notation that if someone wants to see the detail, they can view the meeting with this link?
We could just
do that.
post a link
Just-
to the town's YouTube.
Put that
Yeah.
right in there. You know, it's a fantastic idea. But anyways, I don't think I can make motion. Do you want to make this motion to accept these
Elena.
minutes? Oh, yeah.
And then on the special permit, 73 Quaker Road, you still have 4-0. I think it was 5-0.
Yes, those are the corrections that. So there's a couple, there's a couple of.
You fixed everything else. Yeah,
Before.
yeah, good.
With the exception. So can you make a motion with the addition of those changes that Michael found?
Motion to approve the ZBA meeting minutes from 11/16/25 with the changes outlined by Michael Glenn.
Bill.
Go. I'm sorry. I keep saying it wrong. Everyone's, how many years you been dealing with that?
74,
74.
73. Oh my gosh.
Someone to
As
second.
soon as I can understand.
I was talking with an old friend of mine and I hadn't talked to him in probably 20 years and he called me Billy because I had called him Gordy and he hasn't been called Gordy forever. And I haven't been called Billy since I was like 12. I'm like, you know, someone knows you a long time when they call you by your childhood nickname. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I was just gonna ask Selena, have you looked at the open meeting law guide?
No.
That the ATO publishes?
No.
So there's a guide on the open meeting law that describes everything that we need to do for holding an open meeting. But there's a minutes section on it
Okay.
that's specific, and it tells you, there's 6 bullet points it gives of items that have to be in there, including date, time, place of the meeting, members who are present, members who are absent, decisions made, actions taken, summary of discussions, list of all documents and exhibits that were used or discussed at the meeting, and the name of any member who participated. Okay, so those are all things that have to be in minutes every time.
Okay.
And then with respect to the level of detail, what it says is minutes must include a summary of the discussions on each subject, not just a statement that discussion was held, although a transcript of the discussions is not required. So it's
Okay, so-
kind of a general description
Yeah,
of,
okay.
You could probably put at the end just a link to where it can be found.
Yeah, I think I'll add the post. to
Yeah,
it.
these are very specific about what our minutes have to have. So if somebody were to complain to the Attorney General's office, the
Yeah.
Attorney General's office is not gonna go look at the YouTube. The Attorney General's
Yeah.
office. is gonna look at that.
But she has this and more.
Yeah.
She has
Yeah.
she has this and in far excess.
So
You're more than covered. I'm just trying to make it easier.
No, I understand what you're saying on that one specifically, because it could have just said a butter was present.
Yeah. I hate to use the language, so I'm going to. I can't say nice things, don't say it. That's what my mother told me.
Did you guys actually vote on it?
I made the motion.
Yeah,
No one-
Sorry. I need someone to second it.
It's not gonna be me.
You want a second?
Oh, second, the minutes approval, yeah. Aye.
Bob
David.
Butler, aye.
Bill Newsite,
Eric Russell. I-
Michael Wood. There we go. All right, anything else any more homework, teacher?
Well, we may discuss the rules that Mike had sent earlier,
Yeah, only if you want to.
and then we talked about,
I want to give myself an early Christmas present and digest it over Christmas, because I just was
Yeah.
reading them all.
That's
Um,
good.
We're not in a rush.
We're not.
Yeah.
I,
We have to file a document with the Worcester Registry of Deeds so that they will accept your stamped signature, because apparently lately that has been an issue.
does that have to be voted with?
Oh,
the
do we
board?
have that?
I didn't print it, no, because I wanted you to review it and provide feedback first.
What happened is,
No, I think you did. I'm sorry.
when this was allowed, during COVID,
Yeah.
it was a 40B project. That's the biggest.
Just had it done.
Remember, I was going to be in South Carolina for when it finally got all done, and I had to sign it. And during COVID, that was allowed to just stamp it. Well, evidently, we're back to more stricter rules, or at least it's being interpreted stricter up at the Registry of Deeds, and they don't want a stamp. But they will accept one if we have a statement saying that it's okay that we have a stamp. Usually what happens is Mike and Helena usually email, I don't know if it all goes out to everybody, but because actually, I think any of you guys can sign it, truthfully.
Yeah.
Could be anybody. And at times, it might be, if I'm out of the state, you guys could just go and sign it.
And that's something actually I added to today's draft version of the rules and regulations, is stating specifically that
Anyway,
decisions only need your signature, and if it doesn't have your signature, any of the other voting members can.
Right. So basically, the 99 out of 100 times I come down here with my granddaughters, which is the greatest thing, because these people are nice, and everyone likes seeing little kids run around. I do. And Helena has lollipops going on. So this is a popular place. Anyways, and I sign it. It's not a problem. Or there've been a few times though where I just tell Helena, stamp it. Because in all honesty, my handwriting is non-existent anymore. This thumb doesn't work for handwriting. And so when that started getting bad, we got a stamp. And I say, I have to have an email saying I authorize you to stamp it, and she stamps it and sends it away. Well, they rejected it up at the Board of Deeds. So I had to come down and do a live signature, which was surprisingly painful. I hadn't done one in a while. So Helena, do we need a vote of the board of that?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
All right, so can I make this motion? Because I think I know what I want to be. All right, so the motion I'd like to put out there is that we follow what Mike just said, that it allows for any board member to sign it, the decisions of the board, so that they can be, now this is, so that they can be reported by the clerk. So the town clerk reports everything, every decision. And that's when the 20-day count starts. So my motion would be that we take David's thing that any member of the board can sign. And that I be allowed to use, email in specific approval for my signature to be stamped on it and then approved. Would that cover it, you think?
We have never had this happen.
I know.
Never.
And I felt so bad for that lady.
This never happened in all the years I've been here.
Yeah.
So you're.
We just got the wrong person, but there are towns that have it recorded with them since COVID to allow for that, and we should have one on record.
So Helen,
Okay.
but you're right above the signature line, it says Upton Planning Board. Can we change that in ink or?
This is zoning board.
You took copy and paste, right? Yeah, yes. It's not us.
Oh, I see it. I see it. I see it.
Yeah.
I have to, Mike knows about my proofreading eye, I just.
All right, well, find more. This is a rough.
All right.
And
So we'll cross out,
Yeah, I'll make.
Uh,
that change.
we'll cross out Robert Humes. He's not here tonight.
Mhm.
Oh, okay,
so-
yeah.
And chapter 110G deals with the electronic signature. Stamp is not an electronic signature.
Okay.
It's very different. And did the registry give us language for what?
No, I tried to get an example. I went on their website and I tried to get one, I couldn't get one, so
Yeah.
we kind of.
She's captured 110G there, and it says specifically electronic signatures on that line. We'll probably just add another line and just include the stamp, but not make a
Yeah.
reference to.
I wonder if
Yeah.
it would be legal under ADA, because in all honesty, it's painful to sign. You will not see me sign.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just bizarre. I mean, heck, I can still hold tools, but I now write like this instead of like this.
So we should all cross out planning and put zoning.
Yep.
Yep, so that's one.
And then,
The other things would be- That's okay. So
Initial it too.
WRA, yeah.
Say stamp instead of electronic, and we'll delete this MGL, provisions of MGL,
delete it on both or just the second one?
just on the second one.
The second one is gonna be Stan,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna take out.
Yeah.
Anything else, guys?
Think we have to take a vote? Because we think it's 5-0, but I'm not sure about that. Your
When you
vote,
say any voting member is, if, like, for example, I'm assigned as a voting member.
Yep.
That counts.
Yep, that's what, yeah.
Any current.
For the
voting
particular,
members,
physical,
right?
yeah.
it's, oh, really? Okay.
And then, when is, so I have that you are in office until 2028, the date is the third.
I'm gonna open it
So
up.
I put.
That might be in
That's wrong. Well, I might be,
It is
I-
on-
no, I might be, I don't think I'm gonna be chair that long though.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, on the, on.
Oh, really?
on the
Okay.
website, it
Um,
says your term ends 2028.
Yeah, because then you get reappointed every so many years, but every,
So we just don't know what date to put in there because it wants a period of time that will accept your signature, or they.
just leave that there. That's fine, because I could still sign it. Yeah.
Since we usually do appointments on the fiscal year.
Yeah,
July 1st, 2028.
July 1st, 2028. Okay, but just everybody know is I am gonna open it up. Or I do think at some point, no one person should be chair forever. You know, I don't think that's fair. As,
Oh, you're
You know,
good at it.
Yeah, I like it.
yeah, well, anyways, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna give, I'm not gonna ever turn anything down, but on the other hand, I want to be fair. So if someone wants to take a position, I've certainly had it.
Besides,
You guys, what's that?
You don't plan to live forever, right?
No, I don't, but it's, I think most of you feel that I try to be very, you guys are more than equal partners in this whole thing. You just don't want to do that 40B that's coming up. That's what it is.
Well, they haven't,
That's-
have an application yet.
Though I haven't said, I have not had the, when is that coming before us?
We don't have an
We don't
application
have an
yet.
I
application.
have an application.
What's that for you?
Mhm.
40B down across from Gasco, but it's not that lot with all the pine trees in there. It's the one next to that. The town, the developer did have a site meeting down there for the town official. I did attend. Weirdly, a really cool fox ran through the meeting.
Yeah,
Oh,
very well fed fox.
That was controversial, was the last one.
No, and one of the very nice thing about it is one of the neighbors is Dickie Henderson, who is, he's been involved in developing for years, and he's someone everyone respects. And he's telling the neighbors what they're gonna be able to do and what not. And he's very knowledgeable and everyone respects him. And he's like, yeah, this is just gonna go through. And the developer's smart enough that this time he's meeting with the neighbors ahead of time and has already made some changes based on their suggestion. So we all learned from the last time. I am still gonna bring a bag of candy that first night. You gotta admit, that was an angry crowd that night. All right. Eric, do you want to see a final fresh copy of this before we vote on this, or can we, you're okay with the vote on this one? Okay, Mike, you haven't made a motion yet tonight.
I move that we accept this official authorization and consent form with the changes discussed at today's meeting.
Okay. Seconded, anybody?
I'll second.
There we go. Whoever. Vote.
David Brooks, aye.
Bob Butler, right?
Bill News, aye.
Russell, I.
Galvin,
So just remember, you guys are completely equal. If I'm not around and she gets a hold of you to sign something,
Okay. Should
You're
we
it.
print and sign?
Name. slash-
well, she'll get a fresh, a
Yeah, well,
final copy.
updates in the next meeting or extended?
If you have the update all done, I know someone who'll visit.
No, it's fine.
We can make the updates.
Okay.
And as for, and the,
So,
for the record, that'll,
It's a
that'll.
signature.
That's good, no true.
so my,
Motion will reflect that this board recognizes the provisions of MGL Chapter 110G.
there we go.
Just
There we go. It's just great because my Harper originally was so shy. She would cry when I brought her. And Helena got her completely turned around and she's like, John's not here. He didn't say John, but he's not here. He's not here today. The only one we haven't got her talking to is,
Lauren, yeah.
Well, Lauren's quiet too, so.
but it's like, she's young and got, she's nothing scary about her,
No.
at all. And it's like, she hasn't talked to Lauren yet, but she'll kind of like peek around at John. Give her 2 or 3 years. The next, she's three, probably 4 and
And how old is the baby?
year and a half. That
How
one's
old do you
gonna,
have to be on the zoning?
yeah, that one, I'm gonna tell you, that one's gonna be a terror. I mean, just,
Youngest usually.
oh my, she is not afraid of anything.
Yeah.
If I left her for 30 seconds, I swear to God, you'd find her on that ledge. It's like, what?
We're actually afraid of our youngest.
Yeah, we all should be.
Yeah.
All right, any other things else that we need to take care
No,
of?
that was it. That was the only other two.
Okay, well, thank you both for staying late tonight. Sorry, I thought this would be a really fast meeting. and didn't- and-
It was, yeah, 7:15.
Yeah, but I was hoping. We've had a couple really,
Have you really?
oh, he's seen me when I get on a roll. We've done whole meetings in like, what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, I think we've done a 10 minutes.
Well, wait till
Yeah.
we get the 40B.
Yeah, this will offset all those 40B meetings.
Yeah,
Which would be
Yeah.
yeah. But you know what? I think it's gonna be, the town knows the process much better now, so I think we're
Yeah.
gonna be in much better shape. I'm not feeling the anger. I mean, I had a lot of people just come up to me and,
I think they were funded out.
The last meeting. yeah, yeah, that's true.
I think they shook it off with that
The
one.
ones I attended, you handled with grace and the firmness together, and that's why I say live forever.
Well, thank you. I had a lot of fantastic support. Yeah.
The t-shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm not the board and I'm
Yeah.
like, no hypotheticals.
No, for town
I
meeting,
survived another Liberty to be.
for town meeting, I should really have one that says, Mr. Move the question. By the way,
Yes.
I did get,
Town meeting
I
time.
did get town meeting time read through. So actually, it was good reading.
Yeah.
It was a little snoozy at times, but
Yeah.
Half the time when you stand up to move the question, you end up at the back of the line anyway.
yeah, the big thing is the fact that I've only lost one vote in 30 something years. My barometer for when the crowd is just done with these people is pretty accurate,
Yeah.
because I have lost a vote once, but then there was no more argument afterwards. So, it just,
You got a very good sense of reading the crowd.
It's just we have the
You
same
stood in front of me once and you did the right thing.
I think I give no more than 2 bites of the apple. It's my kind of, you've spoken twice. You got enough, just that whole thing with Lori and it was just,
Oh, yeah.
that was just such a
Yeah,
count.
sorry about that.
If you,
My head was so full.
if you come up, and it wasn't you, if you stand up there and you've got, 2 or 3 pages typed out, you lose, you were automatically lost half people in the room. Short, quick, boom.
Yeah.
So anyways, I think, guys, am I ready for another motion? Tonight?
To you and update the minutes and email it to you with the changes.
That's the agenda. You just have to close the meeting.
Yep.
Okay, now here's a dumb question. He wasn't a voting member tonight. Can he, in these things, since we're not voting on, can he be the one to make the motion on this?
To adjourn?
To adjourn, yeah.
Sure.
Oh,
I make a motion to adjourn.
there we go. Okay, all in favor?
Gabe Young, aye.
David Brooks, aye. Bob Butler, aye.
Going up, Bill, like.